morning, Guido.
Good morning, Florian. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having us here in your fantastic flagship room and showroom. Looks really, really good.
Thank you.
Guido, Sedna is a very special company. Most people haven't heard probably about you, but you're already in the business for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So when did you start? How did Sedna start? And what's the history about the company?
We started in the late 90s. We actually have a systems integration background. We did real-time rendering and data visualization on high-end supercomputers from Silicon Graphics back in the time. And we also did trade shows, and we had to use these obscure tape recorders and VCRs and DVD playback to do projection. And we had an idea. We had this dream of why can't we use a standard computer to play back images, text, video, data viz, put this into a wonderful rendering machine on a computer and use this in a ubiquitous space and make this all available on demand. And then we started developing our own rendering engine. And a few years later, we thought, wow, this is actually working really well for us. Why don't we productize it and bring it to the market?
So you're already long in the business, long before digital signage was born.
Totally.
You are famous, or Sedna is famous, for being Mac-based. Why did you choose Mac, and why have you changed the strategy recently?
Yeah, that's a good question. We love Mac. We love Apple. They have great products, great design. They have wonderful hardware, which is super reliable. And the interoperability between the hardware and the software is just impeccable. However, back in the time, like 5-6 years ago, people started asking us, we would like to have more offerings just than the Mac Mini or the Mac Pro. What can you do for us? And we sat down and thought, Mac is Unix-based anyway. Why don't we port everything to Linux, where we come from originally? And so we did that, and we had great feedback, and we developed that, and now we have a wonderful choice that is super scalable from the low-end mini computers to all the way high-end PCs.
And another bold move from you, you decided to create and design your own media player. Aren't there enough media players out there which you could use?
Yes, there are. Yes, there are, and we would love to. We did a lot of research on that. We took a look at most systems in the space, and we try to figure out if we can partner with these media player devices and the companies that make them. But they all had these caveats and drawbacks that we didn't want to live with. Either the processor was not right or the graphics card was not right and whatnot. And we thought if we do something like that, then we have to make it really, really good for our customers. So at the same time, interoperability between software and hardware should be really good. And we didn't want to settle for anything less than the best. So we got the best and fastest desktop processor out there. We got the latest and the greatest graphics cards in there. And we didn't want to compromise. That's why we did it.
That's the reason you created a Redbox.
Yes, we created our infamous Redbox, exactly.
Germany is famous for its hidden champion. You're a little bit hidden champion because you're quite successful in the US. I think when you go to Times Square or so, the majority of the screens are run by your software, is that right?
That's correct, yes, that's correct. Thank you for saying that, but we don't see ourselves as champions. We're just a small company from Berlin that has a few principles, and we're obsessed by them. First principle is quality. We want to deliver the highest quality playback software out there for even the most discerning customers and clients. The second principle is scalability. We want to make sure that we have something that can run on as little as a compute stick or Apple TV all the way up to a cluster of media engines with 64 4K outputs, frame locked and whatnot. And the other scalability option is, of course, as far as the screens are concerned. Some of our clients have thousands of screens out there, and they use our software and CMS to distribute and deliver their messages on those screens. The third principle is openness and interoperability. We truly believe that a playback system should be able to react to outside things like sensors or data. And at the same time, it should be able to trigger outside systems like other devices and use this in a very novel way. And the fourth principle is very, very easy. It's user friendliness and customer service. And we are very, very lucky to have wonderful clients and partners out there that subscribe and believe in those principles, probably because it's part of their own philosophy.
And did it start because LED walls are more difficult to manage and control in the past, at least, and not many players in the market were able to deliver that value? Or
that's a very good question, and to be honest with you, I cannot answer this completely. What we saw when we started the first install in Times Square, that people looked at the screen and thought, well, there's less blue screens from hell because everything was playing with Windows and whatnot. They had less downtime, so they looked at it and said, wow, the quality should be really good, and we don't want to have downtime. I mean, the screen real estate in Times Square is really super expensive. So when you play an ad, you pay thousands of dollars for that, and you don't want it to be black or blue. And that's how it came about.
We have to talk about Corona-19, the pandemic, unfortunately. How was 2020 for you, and what do you expect for 2021?
Like for everybody else, it hit us really hard. It was a very difficult year for us so far. The budgets and the investments have been even postponed or axed altogether. We cannot travel anywhere. The travel restrictions are so bad for us. We cannot send our beautiful and wonderful team out there to the installs and deliver the solutions that we want to. Fortunately, we have great partners out there that are helping us a lot, so we can do that remotely. We do remote sessions at night with them to do this in the United States or in Asia. So that's great. However, it has hit us hard. As far as 2021 is concerned, we are looking forward to great and wonderful projects that are coming up. And we also have a wonderful arsenal of new things that are in our pipeline as far as features and products are concerned. We can't wait to deliver those to our clients.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming here.